Good evening and blessings out there, everybody. It's your man, Rod Hickman, generational wealth builders where poverty ends with us. Happy New Year. I pray that your 2024 has been blessed. Listen, the Lord has been kind to us. He's brought us down through 2023. I know there are some people in 2023, that was your best year. In 2023, some folk were like, man, get that joker as far away from me as you can. But either way, you made it to 2024. For that, we ought to be thankful. So listen, this is my first official podcast of the year. And I'm super excited to be here. Again, we definitely want to thank each one of you that have trusted us to help you and your family save, grow, and make money in this last year. So again, we're super thankful for you. We're super thankful for the agents that have worked with us, that have helped you. Again, as we are a regional entity, we have so many up and coming stars that are looking to go forth and do great things and really be able to bring the message that is our motto, where poverty ends with us, where they're able to bring that message to their community. So again, we're super excited about that. We have some great things in store for 2024. I am literally elated about this year. Again, and I can just think back last year. I mean, last year I was excited. But this year I'm a lot more focused. I'm a lot more driven. I'm a lot more determined because I'm clear on what it is that I want to do, what I want to see, how I want our business to run, just things of those natures, right? So I'm super excited about all those things. But listen, didn't get on here to talk about me. Again, I do, after I tell you, thank you for those of you that listened, that liked and shared, that allowed our comments and allowed our content to be able to get out to help families. We're just grateful to you for that. So we're going to start this year off talking about what I always beat a dead horse about, and that's the 401k. And let me explain to you why the 401k means so much to me and why I want to make sure that you are aware of what's going on with your 401k, because that is the money for the future you. Dream with me, if you will, for a minute. For those of us that are right now, I got a birthday next week, so I'm looking, I'll be 49 next week if the Lord should delay us coming and let me live. And I'm still just tripping like, man, like 50 is right around the corner. But as I think about that, I also think about, man, one of these days, I'm not going to want to keep on keeping on here. I'm going to want to be, retire and just not go in. And one of the things that I consistently think about is my retirement. Am I going to have enough money so that when I walk away from doing whatever I do, I don't have to go back and get a second job? I can just do whatever I want to do. And that's a real thing. And I know it's not just me. Again, I know everybody that's, about the age of 40, you're starting to think like, man, look at here, man, all that money I was throwing and making it rain and all that there, man, I wish I had some of that money back that I could have put towards my retirement. So here's the thing. We can't go back in time. We don't have a time machine. So what we need to focus on is going forward. But with that being said, remember, one of the things that we taught in 2023 is something so simple. And that is, first and foremost, retirement is not an age, it's a dollar value. And so one of the things that we taught specifically on last year is how much money do you need when you retire, right? And that was one of the formulas that we gave out. Now, again, that's not accounting for inflation. We do have a tool that can help actually sit down with you with our consultation. We can help you know what your retirement numbers are. But we gave the simple formula that allows you to know a ballpark of how much money you need to have when you retire, right? And that's where we take your annual salary and you multiply it by 25 or 30. And why do I say 25 or 30? Most people say they're going to retire at age 65, and you want to make sure that you have money at least to the age of 90 or 95, right? And so basically you take your annual salary, you multiply that times 25, and that gives you a baseline number of what you need to have in your possession when you get ready to retire, in your retirement plan, no matter what it is. And so with that being said, the next thing that we ask people to look at with themselves is you look at your retirement plan, and you have to be honest. After you take your annual salary, you multiply it by 25 or 30, whichever one gets you to 90, is your retirement plan. Does that have you on track to hitting that number that you came up with? And so this is where a lot of folk kind of hit the old crap factor, right? This is where that old crap meter gets, button gets hit, right? Because it's like, man, I am nowhere near where I need to be with that particular number. And again, it's because of what we've kind of taught throughout the year of 2023. We've taught you that the 401k was never designed to be your primary means of retirement. And so with that being said, I went and found an article that's going to kind of help us understand a little bit why that's the case. So as you can see from my screen here, as I've shared, it talks about 401k. Is it a monster? I'll put this link in the chat here in just a second. But I really want you to take a look at a few things because, again, here, most people, when you talk about retirement, what they talk about is their 401k plan. But here's the thing about it. So Ted Benner, who's actually known as the architect or the father of the 401k, he created this employer-based retirement savings program. Now, here's the key thing that I want y'all to see that the father of the 401k actually said about his creation. He feels like it has turned into a monster that should be blown up. Wait, what? The father of the 401k, the one who created this employer retirement savings plan or savings program, is now saying that this thing should be blown up, meaning it should be destroyed. And so when you look at that, it kind of makes you say, ho, fam, well, why did you do it in the first place? Well, of course, anytime you can come in and people, as a consultant, when you can come in and give people options to save money, that's exactly what you're going to do. And that's exactly what he did. And again, can't really hate on him and say, man, why you do this and why you do that. But I'm going to show you just exactly why he did it. I'm going to show you exactly who Mr. Benner created this 401k platform for. Now, I'm going to ask y'all, don't get mad at Rod. Now, Rod just giving you the goodies, right? So here it is. This is Mr. Benner. He is the architect of the 401k plan. And he's doing this interview in 2021. Now, notice what it says. He's a benefits consultant, which is widely credited for creating the 401k plan. So he was a consultant. They said, hey, man, look, these pensions are killing us. Now, let's go back in history a little bit. The pension kind of came in when Henry Ford. He was the one that created the pension program, say, hey, if you give me 30 years, I'll give you a check for the rest of your life. Folks said, bet. The problem with that was back then, people weren't living as long as they're living now. And so what that means is they were starting to lose money. So they called in a consultant to help them save money. And this is where the 401k plan was created. So look what it says right here. It is added to the IRS tax code. That's what all the 401k means. It's a tax amendment to the tax code. But watch this. It was initially used primarily by senior executives, watch this, who wanted to supplement their pensions, not it be their primary source of retirement, but that it would supplement their pensions. And I want y'all to see that there, right? He came up with this idea only for the 401k plan to literally be a supplement for retirement. Now, what does supplement mean? It means it helps. It kind of funds, think of it kind of like as a part-time gig, right? You out there, you have your main job, but then you go do some door dashing, some Ubering to supplement your income, right? That's what he, the architect of the 401k, created it for, to be a supplemental program. And so with that being said, when we sit down with our clients, we let them know, hey, man, the 401k was never designed to be your primary means of retirement. And there are a whole bunch of reasons as to why it was never designed to be your primary means of retirement. And a lot of that hinges upon the fact that it is tied to the variable market. But don't worry, I'm not going into all that tonight. Let me get back to my screen here. I want you to see, again, based on what this article is sharing, I want you to see why the 401k is considered a monster. And again, you feel free to make the choice from and make your own decision whether or not you agree with us or not, whether it is considered a monster. So here's the thing. So a 401k, as we told you, it is a retirement savings plan, right? That is based on a tax deferral status. Now, here we go again. The IRS limits the amount of money that you can contribute. Now, let's go back. Remember, we told you retirement is not an age, it's a dollar value. And when you're calculating your numbers, so let's just say you're saying, hey, Rod, let me see if I can get my calculator on the screen here. Hopefully I can. And that way, again, we can kind of see it. So if you're making $50,000 a year, let's just say, and you decide to retire at the age of 65, you want to make sure that you have at least enough money to get you to the age of 90. So again, we're now going to multiply this $50,000 times 25 years, meaning your annual salary times 25. So that means that you need to have at least $1.25 million in your retirement when you walk away from your job. Now, this is not the end all be all number, but you at least need to have this amount of money, because remember, this does not count for inflation. I don't want y'all to forget that. This is not an end all be all number, but this is a ballpark to let you know where you need to be, right? You need to be at least at $1.25 million. And so what happens is, now what happens with the 401k is what they call pre-tax money, which simply means that they don't tax you on the front end. You get a tax break because you say, okay, hey, I'm gonna put in $23,000. Let's say you put in half of that. So you just put in 11.5, right? And they're gonna say, okay, well, you didn't make 11.5. So when you file your income taxes, you can basically say, I put some money to the side for my retirement. But realistically, we know no employer is going to match you dollar for dollar like that. So, but with that being said, I want to go to one more point about why with being the tax deferred. So look at here. As it is a tax deferral program, what happens is you pay the tax bill on the back end, right? That's when you pay it. You don't pay it on the front end. You pay the taxes on the back end. And folks, I can't tell y'all how many of my clients, when we sit down with them and we say, hey, man, you do know your 401k is going to be taxed on the back end. They're like, no, it ain't. I'm like, yes, it is. And I'm like, you realize they're going to tax you on the whole. They're going to tax you on that big old part, right, that you have. And they're like, are you for real? Like, absolutely. But here we go again. And I'm going to get ready to kind of wrap it up here because I don't want to get too far in the weeds. But I want y'all to understand something. That, again, when you already know that you need to get to, let's just say, $1.25 million, and you're looking at retirement, but you realize, man, I ain't really close to $1.25 million. That can kind of make you feel overwhelmed. Am I right about it? I know I am. But again, if you don't mind, just type, yeah, you're right, Rod, in the chat. I really appreciate that. Now, here's another article that was pulled today. And I want you to see, because again, I want you to look at your numbers. So I hope that you've been going with me, and I hope that you've been calculating how much you need for retirement. And I'm going to show you what they say the average 401k balance by age is, right? So let me show you this real quick. Oh my God. And this is where a lot of families are like, man, this is crazy. So here we go. So if you can see my screen, what it says is the average 401k balance by age. Notice, folks, what it's saying is people that in the age of 25 to 30, it's saying that the average number is 16,371. However, more realistically, is $6,100. You get to 30 to 35, the average is 33,000, but more realistically, 12,000. 35 to 40, call it 60,000, call it 20,000. 40 to 45, 90,000, realistically about 27,000. Again, now I want you to think about your numbers. This is what it's saying. Now you to tell me, and again, if I'm capping here or whatever, you don't agree, again, please, by all means, put it in the chat. We'd love to discuss it. But look at here. So now we start getting to my age. Oh yeah, 123,000, 33,000, right? 161, 43, right? When you start looking at the median, realistically, people are more in the median than they are the average. That's basically where I'm going with this. But look at here, when you get ready to retire now, you have worked 20, 30, 40 years. They're saying you got at least $200,000. Let's say you have this 198. Do you not know that 198 is still less than what you need if you make $50,000 a year? It is a fraction of the percent. It's not barely 15% of what you need to have. Remember, you need $1.25 million if you make $50,000 a year, right? And you only have less than $200,000. And so think about it in this way. Let me say it another way. If you make $50,000 a year, this means if you have $200,000, that means that you only have barely 4 years of retirement when you're going to have to go back to work. Oh man, that's all bad. But then look at the median number. They're saying, well, real talk now, realistically, is probably more like 53,000. And then here, age 65 to 70, they're saying 185,000. And what they're saying is, real talk, fam, is probably more like $43,000. This, folks, is what's going on with people's retirement. People are trusting a system that was never designed to be their primary means of retirement. And we wonder why we can't retire. We wonder why we're passing on poverty. We wonder why, Big Mama, can't enjoy her life. Why Paul have to keep on working. Now, here we go. Listen to me. It's completely different if Paul want to do something himself. That is completely different. It's completely different if Meemaw is like, look at here, I'm in the prime of my life. I went to school late. I'm ready to get back out here in these streets. That's completely different because that is a choice. But now it's a horse of a whole different color when it's mandatory. When you have to, as a 60, 70-year-old citizen, you have to get up and go to work. You have to get up and go and do those things. And oh, by the way, the cost of living is steadily going up, right? The cost of living is steadily going up. And so what that puts people in, it puts people in a state of chaos. It puts them in a state of, man, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to make it, right? But that's where Rod Hickman's Generational Wealth Builders comes in. We come in and save the day because we're able to show our clients how they can stop the bleeding and how they can actually get to the place where they need to be. So let me show you my screen one more time, and I'll get on out of your way on this Friday night. So here we go. So y'all, if you remember from 2023, it's my trusty dusty, how the way the wealthy grow their money. And so our providers that we work with have a product that's called a fixed index annuity. And why I am a great proponent of that is because your money is protected. You won't lose money because the market goes volatile. You will not lose money. So what we're able to do, we're literally able to project and help our clients get where they need to be. So let's go back. So we have a person that is, let's just say they're 40. I don't care. Let's say they're 40. And they're like, man, I realize that I need to have $1.25 million by the time I get ready to retire. Well, guess what we're able to do? Because we can't go back and buy back time, right? That time is gone. What we're able to do is say, hey, friend, look at here. We can show you how, if you were to invest $200 a month to the age 67, you'd have about $314,000, right? So how do we get you to that $1.25 million? So we'll simply say something like this. Hold on, let me do this. Let me make sure that I do. Okay. So we'll say equals this times 4. So what we tell our client is, listen, we understand that you need to get to that $1.25 million. So even though you're 40, let's just say they're 45, what you're going to have to do is be able to put away $800 a month towards your retirement, so that at age 67, you can have that $1.25 million, if not more. How easy is that, folks? Y'all come on now. Somebody tell me something. I know y'all like, wait a minute. I just didn't see what I. Yes, you did. And here we go again. I know you probably like, well, Ron, can't nobody just bring no $800 a month and all this, that, and the third, and so on, so on, so on. So, Ron, how in the world can somebody do that? Well, look at here. Let's be a little bit more creative, right? So if you look at it, what's 800 times 12? That's $9,600 a year. So what we help our clients do, hey, do you have tax returns? If you have tax returns, you could put some of your tax return money for that. Do you get bonuses on your job? You get what I'm saying? We get creative to help our clients be able to actually retire. And then, oh, by the way, guess what? Generational Wealth Builder, we're changing gears this year. Because as I've told y'all, we have helped agents around this nation delve off into entrepreneurship. We are now creating a broker university. What do I mean by that? I'm so excited about this. Y'all see how just kind of, I'm so excited because we have now created an opportunity for entrepreneurs that say, hey, Rod, I want to go in business for myself. But man, it's a whole lot of money to get started in a franchise. It's a whole lot of money. For example, if you want to get a McDonald's, you got to have $2 million. And the ROI, return on investment, is about 3 years. So how many of y'all got the $2 million hanging around that's listening out there? Okay. If you do, let me hold some, right? And again, the list goes down the list, right? I hear people say, I want to get a truck. I'm gonna get me a truck, get in the trucking so that I can do dot. And again, I'm not knocking none of that, but watch this. Do you know how much money you have to put up in order to start making that kind of money? And that's what delays a lot of people from pursuing their goals. So Generational Wealth Builders has now created a broker university where for less than, depending on the state you're in, but for less than $500, you can actually get into our broker training program where it's almost like you're buying into a franchise. And we're going to help get you on fast track to become a broker. And why did I bring that up? For you to be able to make that extra money so that you can start putting it in. And you may say, well, Ron, I don't know if I want to do that much. Well, guess what? You could be one of our part-time agents that just works whenever you want to work. I don't care, right? And again, there are ways for you to make money. That's what I just want you to understand. There are ways for you to secure your retirement. If retirement is truly, truly important for you, if you being able to say for your future self, look at here, man, I done made some stupid decisions when we were young, but bro, I'm going to make it up for us. You need to launch out and find something to get into. Again, maybe you may say, nah, Rod, that ain't my bag right there. Again, I'm not offended, but find something. Right? Something where you're not dumping a whole bunch of money into it trying to make money. I can't tell y'all how many times I've made my investment over. I cannot. Again, think about it this way. Y'all followed us for a little while. This business started in my bedroom during the pandemic, 2020. Started in my bedroom. And we got our first office, and then we expanded. And then we kept expanding. And then we have agents that are in other states that are opening offices. And we continue to expand. And then most recently, we just opened our office in Memphis. And we're continuing to expand. So the point being, the information that we're sharing with people is critical. And people that literally sit down, people that are truly concerned about their future, are partnering with us. And like, Mike, Rod, I wish I'd have known this a long time ago. And I'm like, me too, fam. You ain't the only one. That's why we're so passionate here. And this business, if I could boast in the Lord, this business has allowed me to be able to retire my wife. And there's no greater feeling that I have as a man to be able to tell my wife, baby, you can, run our business, right? You go where you want to go. Our daughter's a senior this year. She's playing basketball, things of that nature. She can go, she can travel with the team. She can do whatever she want to do. And money is not an issue. That's what we've been able to do. And I'm saying all that to say, all at the same time, we're making sure that our retirement is taken care of. And so, folks, that's what I wanted to get on tonight. The 401k, is it really a monster? You decide, right? You decide. But what I can say in closing is that remember how to calculate your retirement. And remember the questions that we talked about a little earlier. We talked about these questions. One, how much do I need when I retire, right? How much do I need? The way you figure that out, you take, let me share it. I'll do it on screen. That way y'all can see the numbers, right? So how much do I need when I retire? So you take your annual salary. So let's say you make $30,000 and you say, I want to retire at the age of 60. Again, we encourage all of our clients to make sure they have enough money to last them to the age of 90. So if they retire at 60, that means they need 30 years of their income. So here, the years of funding that they'll need is 30. So that means if they want to maintain their same standard of living, they will need to have at least $900,000 when they retire. At least $900,000 when you retire. Now, when you look at that, you have to ask yourself question number 2. Is my retirement plan on track to hit my retirement numbers? And guess what? I can pretty much show you that it's not. How can I do that? So let's say that this person here is making $30,000 a year. And what happens is if their company is matching 5%, that means that the company is only putting in $1,500. Oh, but no, they matching half. No. They matching me dollar for dollar. No. Most companies, and I want you to go back and look at it, they're only going to match you up until a specific percent of your annual income, not all the overtime and all that stuff there. No. Up to your annual income. So if you're putting in $1,500, that means annually you're contributing $3,000 towards your retirement. So you work 35 years, that means you've contributed $105,000. And trust me, income ain't going up that much for you to be able to say, well, hey, what about my raises I get every year? Again, I'm that kind of nerd. Let's take a look at it. So let's just say over the course of the 30 years, let's just say you got, shucks, I don't know, a 2% raise over 30 years, right? That's still not going to be a whole lot. So I would even say if we added, I don't know, an additional $10,000, $15,000, that's not that much in the grand scheme of things, right? So you work 35 years, it's about $105,000. So let's say that the money that you paid doubled over the course of that 30 years. Now, over the last 30 years, it is said that the market has averaged again, and you have to understand how averages work. Averages count the ups and the downs. And so what it means is over 30 years, it means that it's only gained 8%. So let's look at that. So let's say you have this $105,000 times 0.08. That's really all the money that you've gained theoretically. If we look at the gains and the loss based on the average of 8% growth, that's really all that you gain. I know, right? I know some of y'all right now cussing. So call on the Lord. Say, Lord, forgive me. Don't say those words. Don't say them words when Rod trying to help you out now. Okay, but either way, I digress. So notice the growth rate of 100% is $105,000. So the total retirement is $210,000. But guess what that means? Now you're in a different tax bracket. And guess who's gonna come see you? Uncle Sugar, because he gonna want that tax. And so let's just say he takes out, I will say the 28%. I ain't going to be ugly and do the 34%. Now what has happened is he gonna get that $58,000 from you, right? I know. Remember, we said, I showed you where it said it's tax deferred. Now some of y'all, wait, where that come from? Where that come from? Tax deferred. He gonna get that tax on the back end, and he's taxing the greater part, not the lower part. And because now you got this $210,000, you're in a different tax bracket. So you actually get taxed at a higher tax bracket. I know. So now you have in your 401k to live on for the rest of your life about $151,000, which, folks, is literally barely 5 years of your income. And so the last question that we ask people are, will you run out of money in your current retirement plan? And I think we can all see that the answer is kind of Again, $151,000 ain't no money. Man, look, okay, that ain't no money. And again, I'm not trying to be facetious, but I'm talking about in the grand scheme of things, that's no money. Blue sky, meaning nothing goes wrong. Your washing machine don't go down. You don't have to get another tire, none like that. $150,000 still ain't no money. Because again, if you just look at the price of utilities, the price of gas, all of that, look at it. I could do it for you now. But let's just say, even if your expenditures are $20,000 a year, now all you have, you're at $130,000. So you see what I'm saying? That's why people, when they retire, they end up going back to work, because they realize, God almighty, I ain't got as much money as I thought I had. That's why they keep going back to work. But we have products and services that can help our clients not have to go back to work. We do. And so that's why we're going to really, really be heavy on working with families and working with our community to make sure that you don't have to be bothered by the big bad boogeyman called the 401k, that you don't have to dread retirement, but that you'll be looking forward to those days where you can be able to walk away from your job knowing that you have enough money and your money is never going to run out for you. And that's why I'm a big proponent of fixed index annuities. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you go talk to those, two named folk around here, Raymond somebody and Edward somebody, let me tell you, they are going to try to talk you. Oh, no, you don't want to do that. Blase, blase. Why would you do that? Why you don't want to do that? Because man, you want to keep your money here because no, keep it here so it can grow more. But what they're not showing you are, and this is what the architect of the 401k says, he's been very critical of the fees that 401k plan providers charge, right? So that's why they want you to keep your money there, because they eat off of your money, win, lose, or draw. They get paid when you fresh out. I know. I know. Wait a minute. Now, don't go beat them up now. Don't do that now. Don't go beat them up. I'm not doing this to incite no violence. I'm telling you now, don't do that. Don't do that. But I want you to be armed going into 2024. I want you to be armed so that you don't have to fear, so that you don't have to dread retirement, but that you can be comfortable having a plan, knowing that when you decide to walk away from a job, you don't have to go back. You can live your best life. You can do what you want to do, how you want to do it for the rest of your life. That's what we do here at Generational Wealth Builders. That's our focus this year. Our focus is to help families understand what it means to truly embrace financial freedom. It is not just a catch saying. We truly want people to have the confidence of knowing I'm good. From a financial standpoint, I'm good, or at least I'm on the pathway to being good. All right. Well, look, that's my time, y'all. Again, y'all know I get a little excited on here. I appreciate those of you, again, that watch us, that follow us, that when you see me in the streets, you know, you say these nice things to encourage me and stuff like that. I appreciate that. But do me a favor, like and share this stuff, right? Make sure somebody else hears this, because I guarantee you, you have somebody that needs to hear this information. And so again, remember, if you're in the Memphis area, if you're in the metropolitan city of Covington, again, we'd love for you to come by our office. Again, my wife is here every day. And then we're down in the Memphis office 3 times a week. All you have to do is reach out to us to book your appointment, and we'll be there. Now, again, maybe you're here and you're saying, Rod, man, that's some good stuff, brother. God Almighty, I'm going to get with you. Listen, just hit me up on whatever platform you see. That's how you get in touch with me. Or put it down here in the ticker. You can go on our website, Generational Wealth Building with rodhickman.com. I think that's pretty easy. You can go there and you can book us there, or you can email us at hickmansgenwealthbuilding@gmail.com, and we will set you up an appointment within the first 48 hours, right? We'll get with you, whether it be on Zoom, whether it be in person, whatever one works for you. We are here for you, and we are super excited for 2024, because again, we're going higher and higher and higher. So again, that's my time on tonight. Listen, I love you all. Thank God for being here. Thank God for each one of you. And I pray that each one of you have had a blessed year so far, and continue to look up. Let me say this. Don't get down. Don't drag 2023 into 2024. Leave it there. Leave it there. Go into this new year knowing that you can be better, right? But here's the thing. You can't be better if you're not willing to change. And the biggest struggle that most people have with change is that they don't know how to be honest with their own self. But you've got to be honest with yourself. And when you're honest with yourself and say, self, I know I can do better here. When you say, self, I know I can do better here. When you hold yourself accountable, that's when the magic happens. And I tell you, it is a beautiful thing. I'll just say this and I'm done for real. Listen, what you're seeing here with Generational Wealth Builders, our growth, our expansion, is we've just been here a little over 3.5 years. 3.5 years. And we have agents all across the country. We're one of the top brokers in our industry. All these things. I've retired my wife, and we're just getting started. And it was all because we made a change. All because we invested in ourselves. We saw the vision of helping people and educating people on products and services that are going to help them for their future self, right? Again, we can take care of ourselves right now, but your future self is the one that you've got to be focused on. Your future self, right? Right now, and listen, I'm telling you now, I'm very transparent. I'm almost 49, and I think back to time when I used to talk noise to them old sergeants that was 39 that couldn't get it like I was getting it, you know what I'm saying, when I was 29. I'm telling you. And so I can only imagine if the Lord should spare my life, what it's going to be like at 59 and 69. Come on, man. So I've got to make sure today that future Rod is going to be taken care of. So again, that's what we're doing here. So change requires change. And again, we would love to talk with you. Maybe you say, hey, man, I got an entrepreneur spirit. I want to try something new. There's a low startup cost. but has a tremendous amount of earning opportunity, then you want to talk to us. And so again, we're here on Thursday nights in Covington, Tennessee. At 6:30, we start our entrepreneur mixer. But again, we talk about what it is that we do on Thursday night. So again, hopefully you'll come and join us. Hopefully you'll say, hey man, yeah, I'm ready to make some of this money. And more so than that, you should want to spread this information to people that you know. All right. Well, listen, that's my time tonight. Y'all have a good night. God bless. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.